Hello, how's everyone doing today? Hope you're all having a great day, night, whatever time it is for you. Today we'll be getting into a bit of an interesting post. So I did see that apparently this was going around the CN community first, and then I decided, I guess how you went, oh, right, we should send it to EN as well. So here it is. I'm definitely looking forward to it because there's a lot of questions from that trailer that we saw. So without further ado, let's get started. If you guys enjoy, feel free to like and subscribe as usual. Let's get right in. Galactic Archives, Destruction and Lord Ravagers. I love the images they included. The prisoner is about to grasp the celestial flames as cosmic fables echo from beyond the cave. The fate of Amphorius lies exposed before the gaze of Nanook and their assembly of Lord Ravagers. The displacement and desolation caused by the Lord Ravagers, enforcers of the will of destruction, are not some distant wail, but are closely linked to the fate of the cosmos. Any world could be the next victim, and nobody should take them lightly. I love how much Hoyo is actually building up, because it's like, we know Nanook is going to be the, one of, if not the big bad at the end of the game. So yeah, I'm super excited. Destruction and Lord Ravagers. There is a core flame in the center of the universe. It burns brighter and brighter until it consumes the entire sea of stars, all to welcome a magnificent oblivion at the end of all realities. A core flame, huh? Yeah, no one we know about that, right? Lord of Ravagers. And we have all the ones we saw in the trailer. Nanook's chosen weapons of destruction embrace the aesthetic of destruction, where all things return to entropy. The Aeon Nanook, who walks the path of destruction, glances at the powerful creatures in different worlds that have developed the urge to destroy, and brands them with their mark that gives power. The Lord Ravagers are both Aeonic emanators and the enforcers of the will of destruction, obsessed with the beauty of havoc, adhering to the principle that all things return to entropy. They are also artists of war and the most refined weapons of destruction, commanding wars across the stars, wielding the devastating might blessed by the Aeon. Blessed by the Aeon. Yeah. We're still just building them all up. Each Lord Ravager holds a unique philosophy of destruction, making them extremely dangerous. Some claim they are antimatter bullets, blessed by Nanook, and purpose to incinerate paths. If life feeds on negentropy, then all actions are destined to facilitate destruction. In the end, when all returns to entropy, destruction will terminate, together with the cosmos. On we're getting each one. Sick. Bestow the cruelest joke of all. Witness the most absurd annihilation. Lord Ravager, Asat Pramad. Some say Asat Pramad is the most human of the overlords, while others argue he's the least. Rarely seen on the front lines, he prefers to orchestrate from afar. More chess master than warlord, moving his legions with methodical precision. Worlds that fall under his gaze are consumed by waves and waves of slow, cruel jokes, like the infamous fall of the Ogle Ring. Over a century, Asat Pramad advanced his Void Rangers inch by inch, just to force the military line of the resistance into the shape of a single line of text. Destruction is where laughter ends. It is mourning, not celebration. Known as the Destroyer of Elation, Asat Pramad embraces the title. When his work is done, he scorches a giant smiling face into the surface of every dead planet, as if to mock the very idea of life. Turns, grins. That's basically a sub Pramon. Yeah, so that was something else that was being pointed out, was each one of them, each Lord Ravager seemed to be the antithesis, or seemed to be against a Aeon. So him, elation, aha, right? And that's why he has his whole aesthetic of cruel jokes. And you can even see, right, sort of this shattered path there, which is super interesting. Oh, this guy, such a sick design. Again, with what Phinon's looking like, kind of crazy. The similarities and all that. Okay. Savage white flame, pierce through the deepest darkness. Lord Ravager, Zephyro. Zephyro is feared across the stars as most terrifying of the Lord Ravagers. He is obsessed with the final moment of annihilation, the beauty of absolute erasure. Yet some whispers that encountering him may be a mercy. Among all the Lord Ravagers, Zephyr alone offers a death without pain. Some doctors of chaos even theorize that his destruction is a form of resistance. They believe he is a self-annihilator summoned by IX, refining fading colors into blinding white light to defy the shadow of the Aeon. His devastation has been known to bleed into the dreams of the Nihility Pathstriders, leaving searing marks on their waking flesh. Many believe Zephyros targeting the Nihility. One self-annihilator once described a nightmare. At the end of all things, with nothing left to destroy, a Lord Ravager hurled himself into IX's divine corpus, followed by a single violent beam of white that pierced the endless dark. Yeah, so obviously we know Acheron is a self-annihilator, and apparently Zephyro might be another. That's pretty crazy, and he's just like, nope, killed Nihility. Which, I mean, to be fair, Acheron's also kind of like, yeah, I want to do that as well, but different means of going about it, and again, the shattered path. The stars listen to a prayer of despair, gathering of grand death. Lord Ravager, Selenova. When some desperate civilizations cry out for salvation, these requests are heard by the family, but it may be Selenova who answers, and her descent brings ruin to enemy and supplicant alike. Unlike her mysterious peers, Selenova's origin is known. Nanook personally ignited a world of harmony and elevated her from the ashes of the eternal Centurion. She is deemed the destroyer of harmony, leading the Antimatter Legion and commanding Void Rangers and starships in vast, coordinated campaigns. For eons, she has followed the path of the Cancer of all worlds, spinning a web of death across the stars. Some say she alone, among the Lord Ravagers, knows the truth of the Stellarons, or worse, that she's the one planting them. That's some crazy fucking lore there, chat. So obviously her design is nuts. All of their designs are pretty crazy. Like, he's the most normal, but he's super stylish. But holy guys. Yeah, harmony. And that's super interesting to hear. The truth of the Stellarons. Because yeah, seeds of destruction, but also seeds of life. Right? A bit of mix of both with the Stellarons. This one's, yeah, we saw this one. I was like, what is that? I I feel we've seen it before, but what is it? Oh. What voice should I do for this one? Sun devourer that chases the light, extinguish 10,000 stars. Lord Ravager, Lux Bane, Called the Sun Devourer Giant, Luxbane is credited with countless stellar extinction events, according to the Intelligentsia Guild. Beyond that, little is known. No one understands their purpose. They are simply called Luxbane. Luxbane's form is indescribable, a shape so vast it eclipses suns, blotting out the sky and space alike. Some in the astral ecology school believe they are a descendant of a Leviathan branch species, but with those creatures long gone, few can imagine a young Aeon reviving such an old being from death and commanding them. Could Luxbane be Nanook's emanator to confront the veracity or the permanence? No one knows for sure. Two paths there, aiming to destroy. Yeah. Veracity, permanence. The Leviathan mention is quite interesting, because the Leviathans are a very interesting topic in general. Like, their purpose in Star Rail, what they do, what they mean in the world and universe. Again, similar to other things we mentioned, bringers of destruction, but also perhaps rebirth, new life. Okay, well, we obviously have to do a robot voice for this guy. Ignite the Warforge. Turn your enemies into Void Rangers. Lord Ravager, Archforger, or Arcforger, I don't know. For years, Archforger remained a total mystery despite years of investigation by the cosmic powers. Only recently did the IPC, thanks to 2 society members observing Amphorius, decode their name, Archforger, from the gravitational waves of Iron Tomb. Void Rangers often exhibit twisted forms, and some destruction creations implode with an intense backfire when destroyed, dragging their enemies along with them to their destruction. It's believed Archforger is the architect of the Legion. Their power is linked to heat, forging, and shaping, possibly connected to the path of preservation. In the furnace of war, there is no line between the smith and the smithed. Since their ascension, this Lord Ravager no longer destroys directly, but instead forges all things into weapons of extinction. The IPC has strongly condemned this. Yeah, aims to destroy preservation. IPC strongly condemns. What a surprise. Oh man, I love how varied the designs are. That's super sick. Of course, by those same designs, we can make guesses of if we'll ever get a Lord Ravager in the future playable. It probably won't be some of these more esoteric or ginormous constructs. Yeah, super, super cool. Fantilia, of course. Seize the body. Manipulate the mind, set a self-destruction trap. Lord Ravager, Fantilia, a member of the ancient shapeless species of the Heliobi, a starfire essence, Fantilia delights in luring civilizations into self-destruction. Based on her sabotage of the Xianzhou Alliance, it's speculated that her target may be the Hunt. To her, material extinction is not the end. Only when all things vanish, mentally and spiritually, can true annihilation be achieved. She's said to possess thousands of incarnations, spreading across the cosmos in countless forms. Through lies, illusions, and manipulation, she fans the flames of blind vengeance. Recent anomalies on the Shenzhou Lofu and Yaoqing may be signs that her schemes are escalating. Just how deep her influence runs is still unknown. Very cool to see Fantilia with a different design and color scheme. So like muted compared to the bright we saw in the Shenzhou. Lafu. Yeah, But of course, I mean, we have a grudge against her. So, gonna be interesting to see what part she plays. Oh, and the last, what we suspect is the Lord Ravager, who is trapped in Amphorius, shackled by Amphorius. What voice for you? Upend the logic of inorganic life forms, turn technology to scrap metal. Lord Ravager, Iron Tomb. Unlike other Lord Ravagers, Iron Tomb's invasions require no physical presence, leaving behind almost no eyewitness. Its presence is inferred from the ruins of devastated civilizations. Technology turns into viruses, worlds plunge into darkness, and everything deemed advanced becomes a cold grave. It only appears in highly developed worlds. Some Intellitron theorists believe Iron Tomb is the inverse of the erudition, a reversal of all calculations and logic. Its destruction resembles a phenomenon more than aesthetics, a corruption and subversion of inorganic logic, a collapse of all intelligent behavior. That would be very fitting, right? The world of Amphorius that we've seen, built off of memory, it seems very digital. You even get some of the glitchy effects here. And yeah, that would make sense of like the black tide being the corruption of this digital world. Which also makes a lot of sense when it's tied back to Elysian Realm. Ooh, is Amphorius actually another plan by humanity sent out into the stars that was unfortunately maybe used to imprison Iron Tomb? I guess we'll have to see. But yeah, the glitchy effects definitely also remind me of Finon's new moveset. You can see it in a few of his moves, and I'm going, oh boy, did he maybe steal some of Iron Tomb's power? Grasping. There was a line Lygus said about like Starfire or something similar, right? I'm referring to Finon as a prisoner, but I also think that is also referring to all of Amphorius also being imprisoned alongside Iron Tomb. Yeah, very cool. I love the illustrations. I love the details we're getting with all of them. I can't wait. It feels like we've truly entered a new stage of Star Rail with with the lore drop with the Myriad Celestia trailer, right? Because I think everyone's kind of like, yeah, we're having, you know, our fun, happy romp in Amphorius right now, but how is it connected to the rest of Star Rail's world, right? Because obviously we have the outside views from everyone, but at the same time it's like, but, you know, we've seen the impact of what we've done on other worlds in the cosmos. What is Amphorius since it seems so isolated? And it's like, well, it's gonna be, yeah, we're gonna be fighting these Lord Ravagers eventually. And then, of course, they will be building up to Nanook. Yeah, absolutely, can't wait, super sick. But let me know what you guys thought down below. Which Lord Ravager stood out the most to you? Which one with like design or lore or, you know, anything like that? Feel free to let me know. Yeah, I'm incredibly excited. I can't wait for next week. I'll be waiting a day and then I'll be doing a new story. Probably split that into 2 streams if it's as long as all the previous patches. And then we'll be waiting a little bit longer to do a pulling stream for Saber, Finon, Saber's Light Cone, that sort of stuff. Yeah, really can't wait for 3.4. It's going to be a banger patch. Can't wait to see all of you guys there. So again, thank you guys so much for coming on by. If you enjoyed, feel free to like and subscribe. Hope you all have a great day, night, whatever time it is for you. Love you all, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. See ya.